Good eye and absolutely terrible. Loaded.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, I have just watched one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my entire life. This is nothing but over the top, unbelievable feminist propaganda, the same thing that is destroying men in America today, up on steroids. It is, why people even consider making excrement on celluloid like this is beyond me. I watch these movies so that you don't have to. Cinematic class is about to begin. Your professor? Is it? Greetings! Salutations, another sundry affair. I am your cinematic professor and purveyor of truth in movies. And the movie I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is called Hunt Club. I have never sat through so much absolute mind-numbing garbage in my life. Now, I'm going to try to stay calm during this, but believe me, this movie set me off. There have been a lot of movies made on the theme, if you will, of hunting human beings. Deadliest Game immediately comes to mind. That's probably the, kind of like the original golden years of Hollywood version. We've had some of these come up just recently. There was a British version that came out, I believe it might have been a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. You could actually go onto the channel, and my review for that movie is still up. It was a bit hokey, okay, but it was done very tongue-in-cheek, okay, and you could tell that nothing here was really taken seriously. The British went about making this as kind of a swipe at the upper aristocratic, and all this was happening with the Meghan and Harry nonsense. So it all kind of fit in, and you could see where they were taking the social barbs, if you will. A few years further back, there was a movie, and it was a political. That also was called Hunt, and it was called it was a liberal versus conservative setup, where the liberals were actually hunting conservatives to kill them. And that one was not just tongue-in-cheek. That one was total Alfred E. Newman type of satire, and it was just over the top, and it was an awful lot of fun, of course. And I've said this before, and doing these types of reviews, the best in the genre, I think, is still Hard Target. This was done by John Woo. You're hard-pressed to find anything that is done by John Woo and is not good. And it is the movie that took Jean-Claude Van Damme out of the martial arts tag for movies and actually brought him into action movies and made him an action star. And it's just a great movie. Okay, so these things have been done throughout, and this movie does the same thing, but it's liberated, strong women destroying alpha males. Now, you see something like this and you think to yourself, this could also be funny. They could have turned this into a comedy. They could have turned it into a biting social repartee, if you will. No, they didn't. They took this very seriously, and in the dialogue, you can tell how serious it is. And therein, my friends, lies the rub. Here's a look at Hunt Club.
Gentlemen, glad you could make it.
You think there'd be any way that we'd miss your boys' first hunt? No way, man.
This is Cassandra. She's gonna be joining us for Jackson's hunt. Each participant has a chance at winning $100,000.
When you say participant, does that potentially include me?
I don't see why not.
Hello, girls. Daddy's home.
I like what I see. I like it. I like it.
What brought you to the Hunt Club? And how are you gonna reclaim your masculinity? I guess it's time for us to talk about why we're really here.
Ain't nobody ever escaped from here.
How do I make that 100 grand?
But you never ask.
Why do you think they brought us here?
They brought us here to hunt us.
Would you like to take a bite out of that?
Promise I'll help you escape.
Are you really gonna search for all these guys and make them pay?
Let's get hunting.
So I know what you're saying. You're saying, Professor, if this movie upset you so much, why did you, what? I'll tell you why. Because they said Hunt Club, starring Mickey Rourke, Casper Van Dien. Casper Van Dien is a friend of the show. We talk and share posts on Facebook. He's a good guy, okay? I like him. And also, Mina Savari is in this, and I like her. I have always liked her. I think she's a good actress, and I think she could be a very good action, like a Michelle Rodriguez or like a Dina Myers. She could fit into that action Eva Mendes. She could fit into that. So I figured with star power like that, maybe the movie wasn't worthwhile. Oh, how they even use these stars is so mind-numbing. How Casper Van Dien could actually repeat these lines of dialogue with a serious face and not bust out laughing is totally beyond me. And then I get two women who couldn't fight their way out of a popcorn box, and they're throwing through. Let me calm down, because we can't blame Sean Kane. He's the editor. There's no way he could have cut this to make it any better. All right. We can't blame Duncan Johnson. He's the director of photography. I don't think he could have shot this in it. Well, he might have been able to shoot the fight scenes to make them look like the girls actually knew what they were doing. But no, it's not going to work out that way. Okay. Who we can blame for this are the writers, David Lipper and John Saunders. Now, gentlemen, why in the world you would come up with this kind of script and this kind of dialogue is totally beyond. You are either pulling a massive joke on everyone, or you're $3 bills. And, I don't know which way it goes, and I didn't even bother looking up to see. Not interested. This movie is just a waste. It's directed by Elizabeth Burke Thomas, one of the dreaded three-name people in Hollywood. So that should have set you off right there and then. Oh, my God, this movie was so damn bad. The feminist version of Deadliest Game. And these people are serious. You know what the premise to this whole movie is? That in order to be a real man, to be the alpha male, to be masculine, you have to kill a woman. That's where this whole thing is coming from. It's, all right, before I get worked up again, it's time we peel back the veils of time. Back to the early Cretaceous period, when there was absolutely no question who was male and who was female. Check it with Rex Reed. Yeah, Rex didn't pull any punches, and I don't think anybody should. I can't believe even Mickey Rourke, who is not looking very good, by the way. I mean, he hasn't been looking good for a couple of years now. But oh my God, I think he should probably team up with Madonna because they're both starting to look like plastic mannequins. This movie is just mind-numbingly dumb, and because it takes itself so seriously. If they had turned this, like I said, into a comedy, I think it would have been much, much better. You got this premise of a man can't be a man until he kills a woman, and because women can't cook, can't clean, can't sew, can't do all the things that a woman's supposed to do, we'll hunt them down and chase, oh my God, You wonder why 65% of the men of marrying age are not even in a relationship because of this kind of nonsense. And how these big name stars got pulled into this, I can only think that they either owed favors to somebody along the line or it was a really easy payday. And perhaps that was where it all came down to. This movie, and here's the kicker. All right. If there wasn't enough social commentary on this, okay, the entire thing running through, women must stand up and fight against these alpha males. The only man that's worthwhile, according to this movie, are what Arnold used to call girly men back in the 90s. The men that they can keep under their thumb. Those are the men that are good. The rest of them are just, and that's the theme through this whole entire movie. And here's the kicker for you. Are you ready? The women who decide to fight against these alpha males, they're all lesbos. Do I need to say any more? Now that you have learned what you have learned, avoid this one like the plague. For this one, you can wear a mask. For this one, you can get an untested vaccine. Here ends